Now, for more details on how the agricultural sector has fared in the last 1 year, I have with me in the studio the president of the Farmers Association of Nigeria, talking about Kabir Ibrahim. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, 1 year of the Tinubu administration, how would you describe the achievement in food security? Yes, that report has given us an insight to some of those activities, which in that report I saw you as one of the respondents. Can we have details on how this has fared?
Well, so many things are happening, and 1 year is not enough to take real stock. I would want to say it's work in progress. But I would like to outline the number of things that I see that will take us to the promised land. The fact that the farmers are taken along in every aspect of what is being done is very, very important, because hitherto people were shaving our heads in our absence. Now, in implementing some of these projects, we are in the working committees, both at the national, at the state, and even at the local government level. Since AFAN is in all the 774 local government areas, and we are in the committees, we are likely able to now assess the implementation of all the programs. Now, I've seen, and I'm very happy with the distribution of support to wheat farmers. And I'm very gratified that a lot of money has been injected into the system. I am not oblivious of the fact that there is some hardship still. People are still complaining about high prices of food items. But we know that there are many, many challenges associated with prices of all manner of things in Nigeria. Largely because the purchasing power of our currency has dwindled over time because of several challenges. I believe that this government is focused on shoring up the purchasing power of the Naira, and is also going to scale productivity. And I believe that in time to come, if this continues, we will be able to get to the promised land. We still can boast that there is food in Nigeria, but it is not readily affordable. Because of
is it about affordability, or is it about availability? Is it do we have food in sufficiency for Nigerians to go and purchase, but the issue is purchasing power? Is that what you're putting forward at this point?
That's what I'm saying. Because right now from the studios, if you go to any of the food markets, you will see food, but it is a bit expensive.
Why is it expensive?
Now,
I thought forces of demand and supply should determine the
price. There are many reasons why, and chiefly is the value of the currency. You see, this is the Nigerian psyche, and I would want to blame all of us for it. Even those things that do not attract dollar are dollarized. Unfortunately, you know, yes, some people buy. Abuja is not a good barometer, for instance. If you go to the production areas, the farmers actually sell at the farm gate or in the markets nearest to them. But the people who go to buy and bring to Abuja will factor transportation and their own profit and all that. So this is why prices are very high here. But the fact is that it's affordability that is the issue. But affordability is a factor in food security. Food security means that you eat what you want to do at the time that you want to, and it is nutritiously balanced and affordable. Once you cannot afford it, then you don't have food security. There may be food sufficiency, but since the larger percentage of people cannot readily afford it, there will be these hues and cries. And these affect everybody, even the president himself, because everybody eats, and among his relations, there are people who do not have very good purchasing power. So he invariably, from what he earns, he has to help them. Same as you and same as me. That's why the cry is all over, that there is skyrocketing prices of food. That is why the NBS is always talking about high inflationary
Talking about the food inflation.
Yes.
Okay, Alhaji Kabiru, The fact of the matter is there has been a lot of interventions even before this administration came in. We always make reference to the Anko borrowers, which has increased food production, and not just in the rural areas, but across the country as it were. After that, before even the Anko borrowers, there were some other interventions. Cumulatively, wouldn't you say that could have gotten us to the point where, yes, we have sufficiency enough in country for exports, though you have put forward the argument that it's not just about availability, but the affordability, courtesy the production chain and the cost that is attributed to it, which you added transportation to it. Now, with the state of emergency declared by this administration, what are the changes, the visible changes that we have seen? Yes, you've mentioned one about before now, your head used to be shaved in your absence, but now you're actually part of it. Can you give us some of the gains we have seen in the last 1 year?
Well, you see, the CBN, for instance, was the one that brought about Anko Grower program. And the Anko Grower, yes, has its successes and failures. And the failures are very obvious. The concept is good. The implementation was a bit difficult, and then it is not institutionalized. From the beginning, when we escorted the president to Kebbi to flag it off, we said that it should be really domiciled in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. But the CBN, for whatever reasons, decided to do it on its own. And it gave people who are not actually hands-on farmers to run the program. And this is why we are here. We should have been in a position where we readily export rice, for instance, because if you look at the amount of money that was invested in the production of rice, you find that is a very colossal sum, and most of it has gone as unpaid debt. Now, if you change the tactics or the style of doing these things, you are definitely going to get better results, and that is what I'm seeing. Because the same CBN has just given out 2.1 million bags of fertilizers through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture instead of through itself, which is a very good thing. And that's why I said this administration is being more, readily, is listening to farmers and is working with us so that results will be better.
And the CBN also said they are not going to be involved in direct interventions like before.
In fact, I will tell you this, you referred to me as an architect as well.
Yes.
There are many interventions even in the physical development area where CBN was doing it on its own. It was not going through the ministries that are charged with that, and the results are not as they should be. So I'm glad that the CBN made that assessment, and the new leadership there is listening to people and is doing what is right. And so whatever investments that are made into agriculture will now reach the smallholder farmers, who are the engine room of food production in Nigeria. We still have a problem, and the problem is insecurity. Once insecurity is surmounted, I believe that Nigeria will be a net exporter of most of the things that we produce. And in any case, AFTA makes Africa one market for everybody. And from what you know, you and I know, we have been responsible for feeding most of the countries around in this hemisphere. So Nigeria has got to really double its efforts in making food available to the countries in Africa, to our population that is ever rising, that in 30 years will be like 400 million. Today we are 200 million, and people are still crying. There are many hues and cries about getting food security and all that. What would happen in 30 years when some of you may still be there? Some of us who are old may not.
We wish you still be there too. Talking about insecurity impeding to the volume of production of food items. For areas that don't experience food security, though it's been handled, I'm talking about insecurity, how are we maximizing those portions for better productivity? Where is the place of improved seedling? Where is the place of mechanization? Where is the place of putting in technology in a small portion of land and get a better harvest?
This is why I keep telling you that, look, whatever is happening now is work in progress. There is a bit of mechanization that will soon start coming in. We are working on several, fronts to make sure that we mechanize. We are working and telling people to even produce all year round. We are encouraging them. There are synergies between the ministries of agriculture and food security with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. There is, of course, a lot of we are embracing technology, even biotechnology that brings about GM crops and all that. There are many things going on the seed. The seed program is very vast. We are collaborating with so many people who have some expertise in seed production. We have the collaborative seed program, CSP, which has been going on between Nigeria and the Netherlands, and good seeds are coming into the market, and our farmers are being asked to use seeds instead of grains. We have done a lot of work on it. There is a seed codex. Farmers have to buy seed because you get more yield from seeds, not grains. So there is a lot of education in that. And then agriculture today is really dependent on education and knowledge. Okay, nobody should just farm because they want to subsist. You want to do this as a business. And then to tell you again, I'm also the president of Nigeria Agribusiness Group.
Yes.
So I promote agribusiness in agriculture. Agriculture is a business. It must be a business for it to thrive.
But it seems we haven't taken it that way over time. What are the new initiatives to ensure that we don't just take agriculture at a subsistence level to just feed ourselves, families, and take a few bags to the market when we need some cash? How can we make it a real business?
It's through education, through telling people success stories. There are many people now in agriculture. It's only because you don't know. We have, in fact, even now, we are doing the National Integrated Agricultural Agenda. In fact, from this place, I'm going to it. We have invited many people in this business to educate them on the best way to do agribusiness and all that. We are going to have a policy, and that would be every 5 years we would make sure that this thing goes on. And this is what happens in other countries. Take the Netherlands, for instance. The Netherlands is a very small country. I'm glad that you mentioned using a small portion of land to produce optimally so that you'll be able to feed yourself and even earn money from export and all that. If you take the story of the Netherlands, I always mention the Netherlands because the Netherlands is not as big as Kano State, for instance. There are only about 17 million people. There are 55,000 farmers. Yet, their income from agriculture is only second to that of the United States. And it's all because of technology, science and education, and good agribusiness.
Why are we not into farm estates like some of these countries you've mentioned?
But we are. This is what is going to happen. I mean, many people know that they cannot do it alone. But you should do it from the private sector angle. And government is only supposed to give you an enabling environment. Yes.
That brings me to my next and last question. What happened to, talking about mechanization, what happened to the tractors initiative of the last administration that tractors were distributed to all the local governments across the country?
No, that is work in progress. I'm sure you are referring to the acquisition of farm equipment.
Farm inputs.
Equipment. Yeah, input. You can call it input. From Brazil. We started this from 2017. It is not yet actualized. But there is something going on.
From 2017 to date?
To date, yes. Because there were many problems. Because, it's a loan package. It's about $1.1 billion. We are supposed to do the needful to get it done. There are many people who handled it but couldn't get it through. Now there is another aspect. There is another aspect that is very clear now.
It seems there's a whole lot we need to talk about this, which will make us to have to defer the conversation at this point to a later date to continue this conversation. Thank you so very much for the insights you've given us so far.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.